Level.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Kia ora tātou katoa. Unfortunately, my colleague had to get back to home in her whānau tonight, so I want to convey and add to the comments that Rahui Kātene, my colleague, gave to the House in opening up the debate. I want to say from the very start that there's no politics in this particular bill. This bill was on the agenda at the last election in terms of our platform as a Māori party. It was ahead of any discussion with respect to what the National Party might or might do with respect to GST. And it really, at the heart of it, is motivated by the factors that my colleague Rahui set out at the very start. Number one, a real desire to help out those who are struggling with respect to paying the bills and looking after their whānau and their families, and it seemed to be along the back of that, that the taking off of the GST, in particular on healthy foods, and that's deliberate, healthy foods might be able to add not only just simply to allowing tamariki and whānau to have good food, but also healthy food, which in the end would contribute to the longer discussion around the health of New Zealanders across the board. And sure, it's aimed, in our view, is to look at Māori, but in the belief that what's good for Māori is good for everyone. Mr. Speaker, I congratulate Rahui for taking this on for us as a party, and I cannot help but refer to the matter of bailing out of the South Canterbury Finance, which we've debated in the House today. So the amount paid out to the investors for the South Canterbury Finance is, according to our figures at least, is equal to $405 for every man, woman and child in New Zealand and Aotearoa. $405. What we're talking about with this GST bill is equivalent to a mere $38. $38 for every man, woman and child in Aotearoa. Sir, it hardly bears comparison. Removing GST or food is a key Māori Party platform, as I said. There are many reasons for that. The health impact is immediate. And frankly, we're not winning the battle of the bulge by a long shot. New Zealand's obesity rankings is third out of the 31 OSC countries, trailing behind only the United States and Mexico. And at its most serious, that's 8,000 preventable deaths a year related to poor nutrition and obesity, at a rising cost of $1.3 billion in the next few years for type 2 diabetes alone. Mr. Speaker, one of the most ironic factors setting the scene for this bill is that it can cost a lot to be healthy. Just look at the supermarket trolleys these days, and the fruit and veggies are rapidly allocated to the too costly basket, while the unhealthy items, noodles, a bottle of Coke, packet of biscuits, are far cheaper to stock up on. I want to just remind us of the reality of poverty and say to the House that it's easy enough to rattle out the statistics. 20% of Māori children live in poverty, 27%, 150,000 children categorised in severe or significant hardship. The estimated costs of child poverty are about $2.8 billion. But the greater question is, how can any nation afford not to eliminate poverty and not to do it all, and not to do all it can to invest in the health and well-being of its people? Mr. Speaker, we're really proud of this bill and its challenge to the government to exempt healthy foods from goods and services tax. We believe a responsible government would encourage the purchase of healthy food and would make it possible for all people to benefit from fresh fruit and veggies, to enjoy the luxury of lean meat, poultry and seafood, and to have a bottle of milk in the fridge. It doesn't have to be difficult. It's hard to understand why a government that is so committed to trans-Tasman relations would be so reluctant to learn from their experience in the computerised model the Australian Tax Office has developed to make it easy to take the tax off. The Australian tax experience has streamlined the process to make it simple for small businesses. Mr. Speaker, to sum up, for the minimal cost of $38 per person, we can save billions in the health spend. We can do it tomorrow without too much difficulty, and in doing so we would be investing in the long-term health of the nation. And I want to end with a simple question posed by Gordon Campbell in his article, "Everywhere Else Countries Recognise the Need to Exempt Food from GST." The question, sir, that Gordon asked, and I quote, was, "The question then is, why not do it?" I'll start again. The question then is not why do it, but why not do something so easy, so readily manageable by business, so justifiable on the grounds of social justice and so likely to deliver practical health benefits to the community? That's the question, and we still can hope that if it doesn't make it through tonight, that we'll be raising it again as an ongoing issue to support those who are struggling and those the health benefits that may come from them.
Mr. Speaker.
Stuart.